What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Monday, September 8th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's coming on with me today, and she is a freelance video editor and has been a producer in multiple different spots. Some of the spots include Chicago, Missouri, just to name a couple. However, she's doing her thing now as a freelance video editor and has an abundance of experience being behind the camera. I would like to introduce you Kendresa Cockrell, and we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into the media business and also ask her some get to know you questions. So, Kendresa, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to have you, girl. There's no question about that. I'm excited to have you. And my first question, I should say, is the same question that I always have with every guest that comes on here. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into the journalism slash media industry?
Yes. Oh my goodness. My why I feel like is very, really simple. I think in one aspect is that I first and foremost I feel like my goal, my purpose is to be able to highlight and tell the stories of Black people.
Mm,
Um, Specifically, like I feel like it's in the media, particularly behind the scenes, like growing up you didn't really see or have a lot of like examples of that, just because being behind the scenes you don't really necessarily get a lot of like public recognition. So
right,
like in the media I feel like my growing up, like my real one like role model or example was Oprah, you know what I mean?
right,
She just kind of
right.
was the like ultimate like journalism TV show host like person. Um, and although, yeah, sorry, I was like, I don't want to ramble and like go on a tangent, but
You good, you good. Don't worry
okay.
about it. Yeah,
I
you
was
good.
like, so yeah, although I didn't necessarily start out my original like career plan to like be necessarily in journalism and like become a producer. I think that like as I got into it, it's always just been my goal has always been the same, which is to, like I said at first, just to like be able to elevate and highlight Black people in a way that isn't always done.
No, I appreciate that. You don't see a lot of faces like ours on TV and especially behind the scenes. So it's
Mhm.
always wonderful anytime that you have faces like ours in those kind of roles. I wish we can kind of supersede even those roles and get into some hierarchy positions,
Right.
like you talked about with Oprah. But I mean, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day, and things move slow. That's for sure. But if we don't talk about it then we can't bring awareness to it. We can't bring awareness to it. I don't think change is going to happen. So it's one step at a time for sure. Did you grow up in the Chicago area, by the way?
I didn't. So I'm actually a military kid. So I have
Mhm.
lived literally everywhere. I went to elementary school in Germany.
Wow.
So yeah, my like growing up like life experience was even just a lot different than like the normal American, especially Black American kid.
Right.
Um, so kind of, and I've lived like all over the country. So I actually went to Chicago. I didn't go to. A lot of people think I'm from Chicago. I think
Hmm.
because I talk about it so much, and I spent a lot of time there. So
Right. Right.
I actually didn't go to Chicago until after college. It was like the first place I decided to just move on my
Mm.
own and just kind of like establish myself. And it's one of the places that I've lived like the longest in my life. So it very much is my home and I feel very connected to it. But yeah, I didn't grow up in Chicago at all.
I got you. See, I asked that question because I was born in Chicago. My mother and father, they were born and raised there. So I'm a Cook County baby, that's for sure.
Okay.
No doubt. And obviously Chicago has always a special place in my heart. This a couple years ago I went to NABJ, the
Mm-hmm.
year that Trump came to
Mm-hmm.
the NABJ. I was there for sure. So yes, that was in Chicago, and I have a
Yeah.
deep affinity for Chicago. Like I said, I love their deep dish pizza. I'm huge into that too. So I had to ask that question for sure. Is that where you are right now, or no?
No, I'm actually so now I'm actually based in New York City.
Oh, okay,
And so
okay,
I've been in New York City for 2.5 years now. But
okay.
yeah, I just Chicago is still the best town. Like it's my favorite place. Like I
Yeah,
think it's a little better than New York City actually. That's a whole different thing. But yeah.
that is. I feel the same way. No disrespect to anybody that's there at the New York City. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Shout out to the New
you know.
Yorkers. Don't stone me on the street.
Right, right, right. Now, since you there, let me ask you: are you a fan of the street meat?
What is that exactly? The hot dogs?
Oh, so it's the cart where they make the street meat up and put the white sauce on it when you walking into New York City.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah,
crying because I was like, people I've had the only thing I've ever had from one of those carts is like the chicken kebabs. You know what I
I know.
mean? I'm
I
not
know what
eating
you're talking
like
about.
chicken and rice off the truck. I'm not that New York yet. So
Yeah, I wasn't either when I first showed up. Like my boy Titus had to introduce me to that, and I was like, "Yo, I don't know," because there was somebody that was asking me. It's like, "Man, do you want some of my street meat?" And I'm like, "Bruh, that don't sound right. Like, I don't want none of your street or meat. Like, what are you talking
right,
about? That don't. That sounds funny." Because
right.
I grew up in California. Even though I was born in Chicago, grew up in Cali, but I've also went to undergrad in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh wow, you been
So
there before too.
yeah, so I've been moving around. So I never ever really experienced New York, although I have family out there. So when they
Mhm.
were talking about street meat, that was something different.
Mhm.
So eventually, though, my boy Titus showed me what street meat was all about. I do like it. The white sauce is good. So as
It
good as
is.
advertised. It is good as advertised for sure.
That's funny. I'm so, but I mean, I'm like, so I'm not even opposed to it. But yeah, I'm definitely not. If I'm not ordering it, like
I feel that.
off the top yet.
I feel that. Okay. Now you went to the University of Missouri,
I
which
did.
is a NBC affiliate, down there in Missouri, no question about it. Great
Yes.
journalism school. Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to the University of Missouri, or was you dead set on going there?
No, I was dead set. And what's actually funny, so I actually, my college career was like most of my life a bit of a journey. So I didn't
Okay.
even like plan to go to Mizzou originally.
Hmm.
I wasn't even actually pursuing journalism when I went to college. Like I was still, I always still had the mindset of becoming a lawyer.
Okay.
So like originally when I went to undergrad, I was my freshman year, I was still like pre-law, like English, pre-law track, like and I was actually at the University of Louisville in Kentucky.
Okay.
Um because I was at high school in Kentucky. That's a whole nother thing. So anyways,
Wow.
um
Okay.
yeah, literally I've lived everywhere. So after I did, but my freshman year of college, and it coincided with kind of what I was doing in high school, I was kind of just like, I don't really think I want to do law school. Like, I'm thinking I want to do editing. And so, even outside of journalism, it was like media that I was super interested in, like film and, TV and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to researching, as we do, just like best journalism schools, and I like researched kind of like jobs I could have, like and
Sure.
I found Mizzou. It was like the number one school, is what the people were saying. And
Mm-hmm.
I literally my freshman year, I ended up like after like the first semester, I ended up doing my spring break in Missouri. Like I just went out there by myself so I could tour the school that year. Like, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna transfer. And I transferred schools my sophomore year, and just because I wanted to go to the J school,
Hmm.
and yeah, I made it happen. It was an interesting transition going to school in
Sure.
Missouri
Sure.
because I had never necessarily lived in that part of the country before. And the Midwest is, even like coming from Kentucky, the Midwest is different.
No question. No question. It is definitely
um,
different.
yeah, it was definitely so. I feel like socially and like almost a little bit culturally, I was like, oh, they move weird out here is my perception.
Mhm.
But the school itself, like it was one of the best decisions I ever made. It challenged me, which is what I really wanted. And it like really has opened like so many doors for me on the back end of just after like networking and just like, working my butt off, like I definitely don't regret the decision to transfer for sure.
I love
So
it. I
shout
love
out
it.
to
Nah.
you.
Yeah, shout out to Mizzou. That's what's up. I love that. Now, Kendresa, what I'm gonna do is ask you some favorite questions. I want you to give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions I asked you. So here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Anything with like chicken and pasta. So it's like a thousand combinations with that. But a
Okay.
chicken pasta combo is probably like my favorite go-to meal to cook.
Okay. You know, the next time I pull up to New York City, I might have to say hello, Kendresa. I just
There you
might.
go.
I
You
might have
might.
to do a little something, something with that
You
for
might.
sure. Because you're mixing my two favorite things, which is chicken and pasta. Italian food is probably my number one favorite,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, no question. Although I suck at cooking, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a terrible cook. I'm much more of a griller. I like to
Okay.
grill, but when it comes to cooking, I'm very simple. So yeah, give me like some breakfast food for dinner, like pancakes, French toast, waffles. I can whip that up really good, or give me some tacos, which I
Okay.
also can whip up pretty good. It's pretty simple. So yeah, there
As
we
long as
go.
you have a base, you gotta have a start somewhere.
Right? Tell me about it. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Ooh, that's so hard. Oh my gosh. Favorite concert ever? It's probably Rihanna.
Wow. Okay. Riri. That's pretty
Yeah.
good seeing her live because she don't
I
never do
probably
no
won't do
damn
it again. I
concert.
know I have to think of someone like who I probably never see live again. Maybe Ree. So yeah, she's probably one
Okay.
of the top.
I would say the weekend for me. No question about it. I'm a huge
I love
weekend
it.
fan, so he is definitely a good vibe. No question about that. So yeah, I like the weekend. All right, I like that. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. My favorite place.
Hmm.
So far, I'm just gonna like can I like be generic? I'm gonna say Europe as a whole because I can't like narrow down one place.
Okay. Now, did you go there like on a friends trip, family trip? What kind of trip was that?
I've just been there a couple of times, and then obviously, I like grew up in Germany for a period of time. So like,
Mm.
I've been to Paris a couple times. Like, I've been to Poland, different parts of Germany. I love Germany. So, just even like from like Berlin to Munich, there's like so many other parts of like Germany to explore. So Germany is probably my favorite place to like do a little trip. But then also I love the beach. So I want to say Mexico too, but I don't know.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that because Mexico is a vibe. Cabo
It
San Lucas,
is. Yeah.
and
Yes,
and
Cabo is
Cancun.
a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No question. No question about that. Been to both places. Have not been to Europe. I definitely would love to go to Europe at some point. I got the passport, so I'm definitely a huge traveler. Um, but
Italy
I
is
would say
nice.
my
Yeah.
favorite is Jamaica though. Jamaica, when I went
Jamaica's
there,
nice too.
when I went there, that was pretty good. I went on a cruise with my family. My
Mhm.
dad's side set it up. It was great. Great food, great people, great beaches, all the above. So yeah, I had me a pretty good time out there. That's for sure.
Okay.
Um, I'm a sports person, Kendrisa. So I'm gonna ask you a two-part sports question. So here we go. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV, and favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
It's like a toss up. Honestly, okay. Let me just say what I'm more likely to do. Let me not. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get the real answer. I'm more likely to watch a football game on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I like football more. But so I also will obviously go to a football game. But
Sure.
I enjoy basketball games more
Mm-hmm.
than I enjoy watching basketball on TV because I love a basketball like an NBA game too.
Well, you already won my heart, Kendrisa. There's no question about that, girl, because I'm a huge basketball fan, especially in person, and a huge football person on TV. Obviously, I just told you I got the game on my TV for sure, as I'm looking at it. Um, who's your favorite teams?
Okay, so my favorite football team, I have the top three, but I'll give you my top one, which is the Tennessee Titans. And
Oh,
that's just like hometown like legacy. My both my parents are like from Memphis. Like I just when I first even got into football as a kid, when the Titans were like, they had just kind of come to Tennessee, come to Nashville. So like, I've just always rooted for the Titans just from a family standpoint. So
Okay.
I'm always gonna root for them just
Right.
because. But then my other two teams, the Ravens and the Eagles.
Wow. Okay, I feel you on that. Now, who's your favorite basketball team?
I actually do not have a favorite basketball team.
Hmm.
That's why I feel like I like basketball, but very much more leisurely. I tend to like have like favorite players per
Okay.
se in basketball, less, and I feel
Okay.
like because the players, what I've learned is that the players switch teams so much, particularly in basketball, a lot of times that I just follow the players more so than following the team because they could be on a new
Absolutely.
team tomorrow, child. Like,
No, I feel you on that. I do. A lot of craziness goes on in the off season with people switching teams and free agency. I cannot wait for the season to start. Obviously, in mid October. And one of the places that you're at in the city of New York, since I'm upstate New York now,
yeah,
you're in the city of New York. I want to go to Madison Square Garden, but I also want to go to the Barclays too. I want to go to both of those spots,
okay,
where the Nets
oh,
and the Knicks play. So I would love to go and cross that off the bucket list because I have not been to either one of those buildings to watch a game. So I'm definitely going to try to make that happen this season for sure.
yes, you're gonna make it happen. I last year I went to the next Knicks game,
Hmm.
one of them, and it was awesome. Like it was so cool just to be there in person, the energy in there. Like I've seen a game at the Barclays, I've seen a game at the Garden. Like it definitely is nice. I like it a lot. So I'm much more like liable to be like, oh, let's go catch a Liberty game or something like that than to necessarily like watch
Right.
the playoffs on TV. Like I don't know.
I feel that. No, I feel that. Okay, that's what's up. Now, last of the favorites.
Hmm.
I'm a huge foodie, and I love going out to eat. So, favorite restaurant that you like to go out and eat at?
Oh gosh. Okay, so again, those listeners do not stone me. Like I don't have a favorite New York place yet. I just feel like New York has so many places. Like, and every time you get a favorite place, I hear they close down. So I don't have a favorite New York place. But for those who are listening, and if you ever visit Chicago, I don't care what nobody says, even from California, Chicago has the best Mexican food in the country. I'm a
Oh,
stand on that 10 toes.
okay.
And
Mm.
so if you go to Chicago, you need to visit the neighborhood of Pilsen. It's in like the Lower West Side. It's not that far from downtown for the
I know what you're
tourists.
talking about. I know exactly what
Okay,
you're
it
talking
is
about.
the best Mexican food you could ever eat. Real original street value, quality. I love it. And my
Mhm.
favorite restaurant is called La Vaca, which stands for the cow. It's on 18th Street in Chicago. It is.
Mm.
I know the menu by the back of my hand. I used to eat there all the time. Like
I
the
know what
best
you're talking about.
tacos I've ever had. Like
Okay. Okay.
chef's kiss.
You know some good food, girl. You know some good food.
I know
Okay.
some good food. I'll tell you all the best Mexican you need to see.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember that spot too. I definitely I always got the nachos when I was there for sure. I got the nachos when I was there for 18th Street because my mom's from the west side and my
Okay.
dad's from the south side of
Okay.
Chicago. So yeah, so
Meet in the
definitely
middle. Plus is a perfect like center point.
absolutely, right? So I feel you on that. That's what's up. I love that. I want to talk to you about your day to day.
Okay.
Obviously, I know you're doing freelancing now, but typically, when you are a producer, you're kind of behind the scenes controlling things, right? You're making sure the show is flowing. You're making sure whatever you're doing is just flowing. Even if you have little monkey wrenches that's thrown to you, your job is to make sure the show keeps going.
Hmm.
Talk to me about your day to day process of being a producer but also being a video editor. Like you said, you like the editing aspect of it, and to me editing is just it's so tedious. I'm like, oh my gosh, I absolutely hate it. I hate editing for sure, but it's very essential, and it's very vital in journalism. So talk to me about your day-to-day process. What do you do? What kind of jobs do you pick up as far as a freelancer to video edit? How many hours do you normally work?
Yeah, absolutely. And it all kind of like it depends on what you're doing. And so like right now I'm actually working a contract at CNN. So my like little day to day at CNN is a lot different than what I've done before necessarily. in producing and like and editing. So okay, so I'll do the first one. Like I'll kind of break it down into two parts.
Okay.
So as a producer, essentially, and this was like specifically for like live TV or like for TV broadcast television shows,
Sure.
um, and I've been able to do in my career, I've been able to work on like a lifestyle show, like a sort of like a daytime TV show,
Hmm.
and I've done like breaking news shows, big news shows as well. So in that aspect, as a producer, a lot of times your job is to set up everything like beforehand. So whereas like as a journalist and a reporter, sometimes you're working on like a single story or getting juggling like certain topics.
Right.
As a producer, your job is kind of different every day in terms of like what you're gonna be doing. So like sometimes I would be well, part of your job as a producer is to pitch stories as well, like you would as a journalist or as a reporter.
Yep.
So I'm finding, whether it's guests or whether it's topics for people to talk about, you know what I mean, things that are
Right.
trending, whatever. So that's
Yeah.
part of it, and then the second part is to kind of it's basically, I call it like you're kind of like the chef, like where you're like kind of prepping everything before the audience like eats it up. So whether
Hmm.
I'm interviewing, like a lot of times I was interviewing guests beforehand, making sure they understood what questions, like what angles we were going with. And a lot of
Right.
times with celebrities, that's working with like their PR teams, getting whatever materials they're going to promote, making sure we know where we want this thing to go. And
Mm.
sometimes that's me as a producer telling them this is what I want to do. A lot of sometimes, like I said, depending on the guest or who you're working with, you're working with them to figure out, hey, this is what I want to talk about, et
Right.
cetera, and kind of focusing on that type of stuff. So
Right.
then outside of that, a lot of times you're like writing the questions that you hear the host ask. You're the one that's kind of setting up any type of visuals that you're gonna see, any type of demonstrations that you see. A producer is the one that's in charge of figuring out what that is, getting everything in place, even when it comes down to potential like run throughs of what it's going to look like once it's on air. Um, so it's a lot of prep, a lot of like doing stuff behind the scenes and kind of beforehand. And then once you're live, like on the show, whether you're taping it or whether you're, live TV, your job then is to be in the control booth, which
Yeah.
is for
Absolutely.
those, yeah, for those, the room with all the cameras and stuff. I mean, all the monitors and things like that. So
Hmm.
I'm in the room and I'm talking to the director of the show. I might be, I usually have a little headset and I'm talking to the talent, the anchor, whoever it is, the host. I'm
Right.
talking to them in their earpiece, giving them on set directions or whatever it is, little last minute things. Talking to the guests behind the scenes and prepping them, making sure they're ready to go. So kind of just dealing with any little thing that can come up before we go on air, and then once we're on air, just making sure everything runs smoothly. I get through all the stuff I need to do, and yeah, we kind of just you run through that in a sort of similar sense on based on the topic and what you're doing. That's kind of like the job of a producer. So I call it like having 15 mini heart attacks a day, like dealing with just everything, because sometimes no matter, you can spend hours planning, and
Right.
once you get on live TV, you're on live TV and that's it. So
How
yeah.
many shows do you normally produce during your time frame of work?
Oh goodness. So on a normally you're producing like one show. On my
Hmm.
last position I was at CBS News, and
Hmm.
I was doing the morning show, and how that was broken down. Each show is like an hour, and like every hour is a new quote unquote show or whatever, but I was doing like two shows in an 8-hour shift, which is actually a lot.
That is
Um
a lot.
so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but typically it's like one show, but a show can be 30 minutes, a show can be an hour, depending on what type of program you're working on.
Sure, absolutely. And listen, that's a lot of work, and you deserve a lot of kudos for holding that down and doing your thing, Kendresa. There's no question about that. But it brings a segue to a great question that I want to ask, and that's about mental health and work-life balance. There's a lot of people in this industry, as we've talked about, in all different kind of communicative type of occupations that have left this industry because their mental health has been affected. I'm glad we're starting to talk about it more because we need to bring awareness to it. People are breaking down because you hear words that are synonymous with our industry, like overworked, underpaid, and burnout. Right? You hear those kind of things being said sometimes because of our industry and how it is. I want to know, how have you kept your mental health strong, but also still try to have that work-life balance? Because you seem like a wonderful, beautiful lady to be around. There's no question about that. But you also seem like you are about your business and working hard and being able to do what you love to do. So how do you keep that balance?
Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. And I
You're
agree with
welcome.
you. Listen, news ain't no joke. Journalism's no joke. Like I tell people all the time, it's not for the meek. You have to be very strong minded and you have to have thick skin in order to move
Right.
through the journalism world. Like I think I tell people all the time, like um, things a lot of times, a lot of things I've experienced in a newsroom, it like probably wouldn't fly in any other quote unquote regular workspace. Like it's I've been in newsrooms where you're getting hazed, like people getting cussed out on the floor, like
Sure.
people having nervous breakdowns. That's just kind of the nature of the game. And journalism
Yeah.
in itself and media in itself, it's stressful. And just in general, it's a stressful job to have. So you definitely have to keep in mind that you need a work life balance, and it's definitely I'll say this too. I'll be honest. I don't necessarily think it's an industry designed for work life balance. That's a lot. If you think about journalists historically, and
Hmm.
the media is a 24/7 job, especially now. So a lot of times, I don't think it's necessarily the most. Let me take that back because I feel like you can do there's a certain type of journalism or a certain type of person you can be and do journalism and have a work life balance. But I think
Right.
that when people look at certain, let me say, in order to quote unquote succeed and in order to kind of rise up in the ranks, it doesn't always necessarily align with that because in order to be in the media, you got to be willing to move. Like, you got to be willing to, like, do
Absolutely.
things. Sometimes it's be on call, like you know what I
Right.
mean. Especially to kind of get these bigger opportunities, you do have to, in a lot of ways, put this job first. And I get not everybody wants to do that, and that's not the life for everybody. So
Right.
it's definitely not the career for everyone, and it doesn't necessarily always give you, and even if you're not moving a lot, like I have tons of friends right now, but they work all the time. You don't always get to pick your hours. It's not always like 9 to 5 or friendly hours. Sometimes like you're working overnights. Like even when I was on the, like just more recently, for the past like couple years, I was working 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. So
Wow.
like going to work at 3 a.m. really establishes, like, you know what I mean? They like creates a whole different like kind of living dynamic that you have to like just
Sure.
adjust to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No
That's
doubt.
just how the news is. It's like I can't be like, oh, let me switch my schedule. No, like this is like when the show's air, this is when you have to come to work. So I have plenty of
Hmm.
friends who, you know, so I think a lot of times people aren't, and again, you don't get to pick the hours that you work a lot of times. I've worked every
Right.
shift possible in the news from overnight to late night, whatever. So,
Right.
yeah, that's not for everyone. And these companies, you know, like a lot of other places, like they're trying to get the most for the least amount of money. You know what I mean? So they are
No
gonna try to
question.
overwork you,
Hmm.
and you know have you doing running it in a thousand directions, or you know doing a thousand jobs, wearing a thousand hats, and not necessarily you feeling like you're getting paid for it.
Right.
Um, so I feel like all those things. So say all that to say like all those things absolutely exist, but I feel like the way that I have managed it or the way that I kind of approach it. Listen, I am not a job committer in terms of like I do not like I am a network hopper. I've worked almost everywhere. And so among the like major networks, I have no shame in it. Like So that's my one thing. Also, like, go where you feel like you're appreciated, and once you're there, if you feel like you're not being appreciated, don't be
Absolutely.
afraid to leave a job. Number
Absolutely.
one,
Yes.
that's important. But I feel like that also goes back to, for example, me being willing to move. Like before I moved to New York, I was living in Ohio, and I was only in Ohio for like 10 months. And even then, I like took a job. Like I was like, oh, I took a chance on a job. I didn't like it, and I left. Everybody wasn't gonna doesn't have the mindset to be like, oh, I'm gonna up and leave here in 10 months. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And
Sure.
then move across the country again. But I wanted a work life balance. I knew what I was looking for, and so you know what I mean. I was moving to get it. You
Right.
know what I mean, so to speak.
Yep.
Not everybody has that, so I get it. You have to definitely figure out what works for you, but for me, I think I don't settle for anything. So even though if I'm like working at a job and I feel like I'm never like, oh, this is the best it can get. So if you feel like you're working somewhere or don't feel like you're appreciated, I'm a firm believer in not only like finding where you're appreciated, but also creating those opportunities for yourself.
I love that. I love that answer. But I also feel like that answer is comes with experience. And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by that is that you know you've been in the industry, you've seen things in the industry, you've moved around in the industry, and like you said, to get these jobs to continue moving up markets, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to move several different
Yeah.
places and experience different cultures, different just all kinds of cities, right? But it's a question worth asking because there are some people out there that get a misconception sometimes, right? They see, oh man, she must have a really cool job. She's a producer. That's a great title to have. Or they see the handsome anchor or the beautiful woman that's anchoring or reporting. It's like, man, they're in front of the TV. They're on TV. But sometimes people get a misconception of that must be easy to do, or they must have a glamorous type of lifestyle. And I love journalism. There's no question
Mm-hmm.
about it. I love reporting. I love sports. That's my genre. Love it to the core, right? But at the same time, I have an understanding that this is not easy stuff to do. There's nothing easy about it, and the sacrifices is real. When
Mm-hmm.
you talk about the news cycle being a news cycle and how you have to work every day of the week and how you have to not every day of the week, but a news that goes every day of the
Mm-hmm.
year is what I mean by that. And so is
Holidays
sport.
don't matter. People like, you have this
Right.
day off? No, I work in the news. They don't care about that. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right. And that affects a lot of people. It does. It
it
because now you can't spend time with your family. It's hard to take vacations.
does. Mm-hmm.
And people need to know that this is the lifestyle that you got to have sacrifices for if you want to pursue this lifestyle. Now, if you don't, that's absolutely fine. But
Right.
understand what you're getting yourself into. And that's why I create the podcast like this. But again, another great segue of a question now, and that's advice. What
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give someone that wants to be a producer or a video editor in this journalism industry or just pursue broadcast journalism? What kind of advice would you give them?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Great. Um, great commentary. Great. Yes, I agree with you 1,000%.
Mhm.
Um, so my advice, especially to young black and brown children, I think that listen, if you feel like you want to do this, definitely try it out. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, because of the sacrifices that you may have to make, that
Right,
you shouldn't try it.
right. They shouldn't
My
be discouraged, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right,
So,
right,
definitely, yeah, go for it. But what I will say, I feel like what helps me or what I have tried to do and what I've tried to do for like younger people that I met is if you're interested in this, try to find a black person or whoever it is. It doesn't have to be a black person, but like just try to find someone that you can ask, maybe someone with experience, because I think would have helped me a lot, and what I've learned as I've gotten older is what just going to someone who has been in the business longer than me, like
right,
any issue that you're kind of facing or any dilemma, a lot of times, they've dealt with it. So it always has helped. It then sort of to start to help me to like have a person that I can relate to go to, in terms of like things that I'm facing. But also too, I feel like do not be discouraged, not only by like the hard part, but by the nose, because you're gonna get a lot of no's in this industry, a lot
Yeah.
of um, rejection emails, whatever it is. You're gonna get like a
Right.
lot of discouragement from different places in this
Yeah.
industry, especially being, for real, honestly, not a white male, because that is what dominates the media industry, just
Hmm.
from the standard. So,
Very true.
and that's just the fact. Yeah, it's not even like that's the truth. So, like, being a non-white male trying to navigate and succeed and like rise up in the media industry is freaking hard.
Right.
And so you gotta have like that tough skin, that tenacity to keep going. And also, too, my advice really is to pivot. If you know you want to host, that's fine. And maybe, if you're at a station and you know you want to anchor and they're not giving you the opportunity, start to look for some other anchoring positions at other places. Don't always just feel like you have to be pigeonholed into what your particular situation might be telling you, because that's another thing I feel like I've found through my experience, like we said before, in all these different newsrooms, is that
Hmm.
I've had so many people telling me, well, you're really good at this, so this is what I see you doing, right? And not necessarily like, even if I see an opportunity like where I'm at currently, them not taking me seriously. That's my number one cue to hit the door, outside of work life balance or not feeling
Right.
valued. If
Right.
I'm trying to go after something and I don't feel like this job is trying to help me get to that next stage, I'm already looking for the next job, because a lot of times, like I said, like that's just kind of the nature of the beast, is that they'll want to pigeonhole you, especially if you're good. They're going to
Right.
want to even more so try to discourage you from doing something else and trying to just keep you where you are fitting for them. So
Amen.
so even if you're editing but you feel like you want to host, start looking for multimedia jobs, start looking for, MJ jobs, or jobs where maybe you can edit and do your own reporting. Like, there are ways around the system a lot of times, and that's what I think too, because we don't have mentors in this industry a lot of times coming in the gate, so we don't really know that there are ways to maneuver around it. But it's never going to be a straight shot. You're going to have to do a little circle, do a little dancing somewhere. But if you have it in your spirit, you have a vision in your mind of what you want to be, you can get there. You just got to know how to keep it moving past the roadblocks. So
Mm.
that's like my advice.
Well, you done went to church on us, girl. I like
Okay.
that. I like that. And all of God's children say amen on that one. There's
Amen.
no doubt. There's no doubt. I know I love it. I love it. I really do. And that's great advice. And the reason why I say that is because you're absolutely right. People need to learn how to pivot. It's very hard though for young college students that's just getting out of college, just recent graduates. Now that I'm older, because I'm in my 30s, now
Mhm.
that I'm older, I feel like I'm more confident about myself. I'm
Mhm.
more aware of who I am. I'm more conscientious of things I want to do, things I don't want to do, and I can advocate for myself a lot better than what college kids coming out of college can do because they don't know no better. They want to say yes, 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 or they get in a situation where they get to that network and sign that contract, right? Now you stuck in it for 2, 3 years, and it's like, ooh, you trying to get out of it. You trying to pivot, but it's hard to pivot. Do you
Mhm.
stay to the end of your contract, or do you leave? It's these are the questions that people have brought upon my podcast, and that had to ask themselves that. And I truly love journalism, but you got to know the A and the B side. And if
Amen.
you can take both the A and the B side, then you good to go. But you got to know both sides exist, and a lot of people don't unless they talk to individuals that are in the industry. And that's why, again, I do podcasts like this because people need to know this is what people go through. These are the thoughts that people have. They love doing what they do, but there is also some thoughts of some doubt sometimes. There's thoughts
Absolutely.
of burnout sometimes. There's thoughts of, man, is this industry for me? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So I love that. I want to get to the portion now because we've reached the portion of my podcast now that we're going to play my interactive game
Okay.
called This or That. It's an interactive game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's very simple, Kendresa. You're going to choose this or that after I throw some things at you, okay? So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Let's check this out. Out of these two restaurants, if you had to choose one to eat at, which one would you rather go to? Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Texas Roadhouse.
You like the cinnamon buns, don't you?
Them rolls. I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
more than.
Mm-hmm. I knew doggone well what time it was with you. I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you on that. We off to a good start. When it comes to chicken wings, which flavor would you rather put on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Barbecue.
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
What?
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Bone in.
So you like to get messy with it.
That's I was about to say. Like that's the problem.
Mm.
Like dirty fingers. But yeah, I'm fucking with it with the ranch.
Okay, so here's my little fun fact here. I've never had ranch sauce. Ever.
What?
Yeah, I
Ranch?
never had ranch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never
What
like
you
on.
picking?
Oh, girl, barbecue, honey barbecue, buffalo sauce, lemon pepper.
So with
Um,
like a hot wing, you're not dipping it in a sauce. You're just eating the hot wing.
I'm just eating the hot wing because I put the buffalo sauce on it,
Oh, okay,
or I might have some barbecue sauce on the side and get
okay,
that hot honey barbecue sauce with it. So I
okay,
like that. Yeah, yeah, that's fire. That's fire right there.
okay. That's
But I've
interesting.
never had ranch sauce on anything or ever. Now,
Not even on a salad. Like what?
mm-mm, mm-mm, nope, not on a salad.
What do you eat on salad? Just Caesar dressing?
Actually, I don't eat nothing on salad. I eat it plain.
You eat dry salad?
I do. I do. I'm weird
That's
like
it.
that. I
That's
do.
interesting.
I do. Yeah, yeah. I eat dry salad, but I don't eat a lot of salad though. I
Okay.
eat more like I'm more of a soup person. So yeah,
Okay.
more of a soup person than salad. But when I do eat salad, yeah, that thing naked.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing on it. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that though. But we agreeing on the wings and the restaurant so far. So let's see if we can keep this thing going, Kendresa.
Okay.
The next four questions have to do with music concerts you rather go to. So here we
Okay.
go. The first one is, which music concert would you rather go to? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Oh God, haven't been to both. Jesus. Honestly, it's about to be so weird. Okay, so 10 years ago Drake, but now Kendrick Lamar. But I've seen them
Okay.
both. I just feel
Okay.
like I've seen Drake in concert enough at this point. But anyway,
Okay. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. K Dot. I would choose K Dot too. Now, which
I don't give
concert?
Drake my coins, so Drake fans don't come for me.
Yeah, don't come from Kendresa, y'all. She likes both artists, as do
Yeah,
I. Okay, so let's keep it a buck. Here we go. Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see SZA or her?
SZA. I know more of her songs.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I like that. Now, which music concert would you rather go see? Beyonce or Rihanna?
Oh God, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like I knew you were to say Beyonce, like and Rihanna. That's stupid. But Beyonce because it's Beyonce. Like,
Okay.
why would you pit my two girls against me? Like, why would you do that? Like, that's a
Listen,
terrible choice to make.
I understand. It's hard. I get that. And listen, you made that choice with pride. And again, Rihanna fans, don't come from Kendresa. She
I
loves
had already said
Riri.
that's my favorite concert. So I'm on. I am Navy down. Like
Right,
I love Rihanna
right.
bad, but I won't lie. Beyonce is probably one of the best performers I've ever seen. So
Oh, no
that's
question. No
top
question.
tier.
Had the pleasure of seeing her as well. I love that.
Yeah,
Okay. Last of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Brandy or Monica?
Monica.
Okay. I'm with you on that. You're in the minority, but I'm with you on that.
I love Brandy too, though. So it's like it ain't even like a who I like better. I just feel like I'm going to have more of a key at a Monica concert than a Brandy.
Okay. Say less. I'm with you. Now let's go to sports.
Yeah,
Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Baseball or hockey?
baseball,
Okay. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I am.
We might have to put that
To
tier.
me,
That
I
we
was
might
like
we
to
might
me.
We might have to put that theory to test, girl. I ain't talking with
Okay.
the bumpers now. I'm just telling you. I'm
No,
not
no, no.
talking about.
I was like, I'm not like elite good, but I feel like I'm pretty decent. I can hold my own. Well,
Okay. All right, we definitely gonna test that theory. That's for sure. There's no question about that, girl. For sure. Okay, I'm with you on that. Do you like desserts?
certain ones, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna name four categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these to get rid of that you'll never eat again. So here we go.
I already know. I can already tell you the answer because I don't eat it.
The first, the first category is ice cream.
Okay.
The second category is cookies.
Okay.
The third category is candy. The last category is going to be cake slash pies grouped
Okay.
together. Which one are you getting rid of?
Cake pies. I don't eat pie.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip.
So you real basic. Okay.
I am when it comes to dessert, but don't do me. A chocolate chip cookie and vanilla ice cream is like my go-to. But
Oh,
say what you will,
listen,
you can't beat
Kendresa,
that. That's
that's
top
not
tier.
bad. That's not
That's
bad,
top
girl.
tier dessert. A
Yeah.
warm chocolate chip cookie and some vanilla ice cream. You really don't. You don't need nothing else. You don't need no pie. Like that's all you need.
And listen, I agree with that. I would have got rid of the candy for me for sure. But listen, I'm with you on the cookies and that because my favorite ice cream is actually cookies and cream. So
Exactly.
I would
Exactly.
buy the French vanilla ice cream and I would buy the double stuffed Oreos. I get about maybe five or six of those double stuffed Oreos and I would crunch them up in a bowl. And that's how I
Yeah.
would eat my cookies and cream. So yes,
There
that's
you
what I would
go.
do.
That's the
Okay.
next cookie. That's top.
Mhm.
That's top dessert.
Yes, it
You
is.
don't need
Now,
nothing else.
do you like potato chips?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So same format.
Okay.
I'm going to name four brands. You got to choose one of these brands you'll never eat again. So here we go.
Okay.
The first brand is Doritos. The second brand is Lay's. The third brand is Pringles. The last brand is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Doritos. It's my least favorite chip. I've never liked Doritos, even as a kid.
Wow, that is definitely a hot take. Now you don't
I
have
It
to.
is a hot take.
That is damn sure a hot take, no
Because
question.
I
Now you
love
don't.
Pringles. I don't care about the. I don't care about the popular, the status quo. Pringle might be the superior chip. So
Okay, okay. Now here's the thing. You don't have to name the other three, but
okay.
what is your favorite chip?
Oh, my actual favorite chip is salt and vinegar Lay's. So
Oh my gosh, what the? Girl,
that's
you
the
about
top.
you about
I've
that?
since I was a kid. Like if I'm gonna like my go, and really it's that and Funyuns. Like it's really like tied at
I'm
the top.
done.
Like
Oh
that was
my
my favorite
gosh.
chip as a kid was a Funyun. And I
You
feel
know
like when
what?
Funyuns out, that's why I didn't name them. But that's
Okay,
like for real.
we've been vibing. You're absolutely terrific. You're wonderful, beautiful, all of the above. You really are, and you just went off the damn boat. I'm just tell you that
What?
right now. You did.
That's superior. That's top
You
chip.
did.
Like what
You
you talking
did. No, you just named two of the three worstest chips ever
about?
made in life.
What?
You did. You did. On
Those are the
that
best flavors for real. That's top tier. The next
that
for
is.
real might be the plain lay. The
Oh,
worst chip is a barbecue chip, second to Dorito. Like
we can't eat chips, yo. There's no way we
barbecue
can
chips
eat
are
chips because
gross. I've
you
never
are just
understood barbecue
Kendresa.
lay.
I don't know what is in your taste buds, but the salt and vinegar is the second worst chip ever made.
That's prime chip. That's prime chip with a sandwich. That's prime chip. If you
Okay.
don't have plain salt and vinegar, that's prime chip flavor. What you talking about?
No, you put no sour cream and onion is prime chip. That's what
That's
that is.
that's like very mid chip. That's very middle road. Very
Oh my
like, oh,
god.
this is all they had left.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
I'll eat this. But it's like it ain't bad, but it's very mid tier. About
All
five.
right. All right. We're gonna stick to the wings, girl. We're gonna stick
Okay.
to the wings and
Fine.
chicken.
Get your
Good.
own chips, I'll get my own. How about
Yeah,
that? We
that's
keep it
it.
all
That's
chicken.
it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this way we're both being generous because you're
Yeah.
leaving the barbecue chips for me on the shelf, and I'm damn sure leaving the salt and vinegar and Funyuns on the shelf. Funyuns is the worst chip ever made, in my opinion,
What?
ever. Like if I could smack them all
What?
off the shelf and step on the bags, I certainly would. I would crush
That's
every
the
single
best
one of
chip. Okay, so what's your favorite chip?
them. Ruffles, sour cream, and cheddar.
That's also very mid tier. That's about a 5.6. Fine. It's not
Mid.
wrong, but it's not right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, yours. I ain't even gonna say it's right. It ain't even right nowhere. That shit is negative. It ain't even
Oh,
a
okay.
0 to 10. It's not even an integer. That's what. That's how bad it is. That's
I
how
would just
bad.
even like sit and like take all this in and be like, oh my gosh, she was right. Like that was really like top chip material. Like it'll sink
No.
in. It'll
Oh,
come to
that's
you.
what you was thinking when you said that.
It's gonna come to you. Like, oh my gosh, she's right. Like anybody listening, they're gonna go the next time you eat a sandwich, throw some salt and vinegar chips on there. Chef's
Okay.
kiss. The little
Yeah.
extra thing. It's everything you need with a sandwich.
No.
It's everything.
Hell no. I'd rather wake up white. I mean,
Uh,
that's just the way it is.
eating barbecue
Straight up.
chips because that's what they think. It's that's who love barbecue chips. It's white
You
folks.
better stop,
Like,
yo.
that's
You better,
tough.
you
Like,
better stop.
cut that
You
part
are crazy, yo.
out.
You are so crazy, yo. Um, Next question I have for you is the top four question, and it's called bucket list.
Okay.
Okay, so the reason why it's called bucket list is because I want you to give me four stories or things in journalism that you would like to do that you haven't done yet.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm. Yeah, this is kind of a speaking into an existence kind of question.
Can it be media? Because and I
Yeah,
don't need
yeah.
this to sound no way. I have done most things in journalism that I wanted to do. I've been able to do them.
Okay,
So looking towards like my next goals per se.
sure. Let's rock with it.
Okay. Bucket list. Produce a feature film.
Mm,
Um, release my first full length documentary, which I'm working on.
okay, I like that.
Um, two more, two more. Um, establish like my own. Well, you said things I want to do. It's like related but not. So like establish my own company for like media. Like I see it kind
Mm,
of being like news slash entertainment, like media slash like journalism.
sure.
Um, and then number four, um, you know, going back to I think like my producer goal, I guess
Hmm.
I would not be upset at becoming an executive producer of a live show. I
Mm,
would
okay.
I would take a run at that,
Now,
pursue
have
that.
you ever thought about putting that wonderful face in front of the camera?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Talk
Because
to me.
I am not. I've never wanted to be a reporter. I've never wanted to be on camera. I a couple things. I actually okay, so on a slight tangent. There's two reasons for that. Number one,
Talk to me.
I feel like not that you don't have for anyone listening who wants to be a reporter, not that you don't have control over what you do, so to speak. But a
Right.
lot of times you're at the mercy of a producer. I like being in charge. Okay. So that was the one thing. I didn't really want to have to be dictated. I want to tell people what to do. And that's more so a producer role than a reporter role.
That
Um,
is.
kind of it is behind the scenes. Even I'm a producer
Hmm.
of a show. These are the topics I want in my show. As a reporter, you can go out and cover it the way you want, but I'm gonna tell you what I want to be covered. Like that's how
Right.
producers work. So I've
Right.
always been a little bossy in that aspect.
Okay.
Um, and two, as much as I like, I do enjoy, and this is again for people listening who are interested, the B side of journalism and in news is you very much are, once you do sign that contract, a lot of times they very much can tell you what to look like, what you can do with your hair, what you can,
You
X,
can.
Y,
Yeah.
Z. Like that's part of it. It really, really is. And
Right.
I'm as a person who I change my hair a lot. I have colors in my hair, X, Y, and Z. I wear acrylic nails a lot. Like I like long nails. Like these are just kind of ways that I like to my personal expression. and I did not want that to be hindered upon. And it was
Sure.
already, even in certain spaces and throughout my career, it's been a conversation, not necessarily in terms of my job, because obviously none of this has impacted my job performance as a producer,
Right.
but the conversation just even being in the newsroom of being like, oh, she has super long nails, like, oh, her hair is this, her hair is that, like, it started a conversation in a lot of different newsrooms, because I'm not emboldened to that. Like, these people can't, and they're like not gonna tell me what to do. I'm not on camera. Like, you can't tell me I'm not gonna come in here with blonde braids today, girl. Like, that doesn't impact how anything is getting produced, girl. These nails don't matter. Like,
Right.
and so
Right.
I feel like me still being able, kind of having the freedom to express myself visually is something that I wouldn't necessarily have if I was on TV. So
No, I can respect that. I can because you do get a lot of people, directors and hierarchies that want to tell you
oh
you got to wear you
yeah,
you
you
got
gotta
to
cut
wear.
your hair, you gotta ask to get certain
Mm-hmm.
styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like, I've been in a lot of newsrooms where, like, after I started working there, like, the black anchors, they wanted braids, right? I'm sure you do. It's the summertime. Like, why don't you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're black women. So, but they had to get that approved to get braids in their hair. And, like, a lot of them, it was like the first time anyone's ever, like, had braids or had,
Right.
I've experienced that a lot. And this is in the last 10 years. So it's definitely a thing.
Mm. Okay.
Um, and
Okay.
yeah, just something that I didn't want to deal with. So I feel like I would. People have said even too, like, why don't you do like a YouTube show? And I don't know, like, I just like the. I also like the power of like anonymity. That's also why I love being an editor in the same kind of token. Because
Right.
outside of TV, like, as an editor, you're in charge of like building the story. Like, you
Yep.
build the pieces that the people are seeing. And,
Right.
even if these people don't know you, like, you have so much power in the way you are able to actually get a story out there as an editor.
Right.
um, and I just was attracted more so to those types of roles.
I can understand that. Totally understand that. And obviously, anybody that knows you knows that you do an excellent and wonderful job. There's no question about that. But, it's always interesting to ask producers, do you want to be in front of the camera? Because there's some producers that do.
They do.
Most that don't. Most don't,
Yeah.
for sure. But I love asking that question for sure. Now, we talked about advice earlier, Kendresa, advice that you would give. What is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
So good. um Trying to think of like the nugget that I want to share.
Mhm.
I think something that I think has like helped me navigate like my future. I had one of my mentors. She told me when I was like weighing job opportunities. She said, "Do you want to be um, a leader in one space, or do you want to be a cog in a machine
Mm.
at a bigger
Wow.
place?"
Wow.
And pros and cons, because you could be a leader in a smaller capacity, maybe a smaller market, what have you. But going to, and I've worked at network TV, and like, you can also feel like a cog in a machine, and it doesn't really matter because it's just like, 1,000 people. So I think that advice in terms of like what I when I look for new jobs or when I'm looking for my future, it
Mhm.
always kind of rings in my head. And I think that has helped me just, and neither decision is wrong. But it also just helped me, has shaped a lot of my decision making moving forward. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Everybody's different. Everybody has different goals in this industry. Everybody ascends differently. So what is good at one particular point may not still be good for you at another particular point, right? So,
Right.
like you said, you could be a cog in a machine, or you could be a big fish in a small pond.
Mm-hmm.
One of those type of things. So, I love that. That's a great quote. Great advice for sure. I want to ask you these rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some things at you, and the first thing that comes to your mind, I want you to shout it out with glee. Okay. So
Okay.
here we go. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Juice or soda?
Juice.
Favorite color?
Orange.
Favorite TV show?
Of all time or right now?
Both.
Oh God. All time living single.
Mm.
Right now, Severance.
I've not seen Severance. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. Favorite sandwich.
BLT.
Favorite board game.
Sorry.
Ooh, me too. I like Sorry. Yeah, I'm a huge Sorry fan. Favorite card game.
Spades.
You don't know how to play some spades.
Okay, baby, I'm from the South for real. Okay.
Okay, now listen. I know about Memphis too. Now 901
Okay, yeah,
area
I'm
code. I know
from
about
the
nine.
country.
Uh,
Okay, we all know
I,
how to. I know how to play spades for real. Okay.
okay, Graceland, Bill Street. I know
I'm
about
trying.
Memphis now. So come on now. I know about Memphis. I know I play some spades. Hold on. Let's see. Let's test it. Are you joke deuce deuce or regular spades?
I like regular spades. I don't be. I don't. But I play deuce deuce too. It's whatever. But
Also,
I
well, I
like
play ace high too. I
the
mean, I get
joker
that.
joker.
We
Yeah.
call that the Yahoo spades. That's what we call that. We call that Yahoo spades. So we
Oh,
good.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
I'm
like
with you
it's
on
up
that.
north spades, but it's I can play that too.
Okay, all right. We'll have to test that theory out too. All right. If you had three people plus you, so total of four, to take on a vacation, who would those three people be, and where would you go? Now, before you choose, you can choose friends, family, or celebrities.
Oh, okay. I was about to be super basic. The three people I probably still would choose just off the top of my dome is like my parents and my sister. Because we like to travel a lot, and somewhere I would take us top of the dome, Italy,
Okay, I like that.
or
Never
like
been
south of
there.
France. Yeah,
I would love to go to Italy one day for sure. Now, if you had a choice to listen to three songs or three artists on repeat and never get tired of them, who would those three artists or three songs be?
those are different things. So three artists or three songs.
That's what I'm saying. You get to choose. Which one would you rather choose? The three songs or three artists?
The three artists.
Okay, talk to me.
The three artists I would choose to like listen to first in my life and never get tired: Mariah Carey,
Hmm.
Young Dolph.
Wow, that is two ends of the damn spectrum right
It
there. You
is, but
definitely
is it though? It's also very related. If you know, you know. And
okay.
and never get tired. Mm, who is my third person going to be? It's so hard. My brain is trying to like narrow it down
Right.
to one person to say one name. To listen to one person and never get tired. Adele.
Wow, that is
That's just
definitely
like
three different kind of like we got Mariah Carey, who's the soulful one, although Adele's soulful too, but
I know.
she in
That's
it
how I
a
was trying to
different
think of
way.
like another genre, but I couldn't think of another
Hmm.
name. But
Well,
you
you
know,
good. Then you got Young Dolph, which like never had it, like
I
like
know it's
right.
classic.
You got the crunk kind of music with Young Dolph. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shout out
yeah,
to
I feel you.
Dolph.
That's that Memphis coming out of your ass right
No,
there,
for sure, for
no question. Okay,
sure.
here we go. Uh, favorite alcoholic drink.
Whiskey.
Ooh, okay. Are you chasing it or just straight up?
I drink my whiskey straight most of the time. Um, I do like an old fashioned though, so I'll do like a whiskey
Yeah.
drink. But yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I usually drink my whiskey straight.
Okay, okay. If they
Yeah.
came to you and they said, Kendresa, you do a great job of being a producer. And we know you produce news, but we want to change your genre. We want you to produce another type of genre. Out of these three, which one would you choose? Would you choose entertainment, travel, or sports?
Entertainment.
I like it. Very decisive, by the way. I like that. Last of the rapid fire. If they told you that they said, hey, Kendresa, you're a great producer and editor, but there's another position that I would like for you to try out because we think you may even be good in this position. Would you be an anchor, a reporter, or would you be an assignment editor?
An anchor.
Wow. Okay.
Even though I said all that about the camera, but I would be an anchor first.
Okay. All right. No, I listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate this conversation. This has been a pretty dope conversation, Kendresa, talking about your why, getting to know you, getting to know what you do on a day-to-day basis, realizing that you know how to bowl, play spades, and that you are a sports fan for sure that loves watching basketball games in person and football on TV. We are much alike. There's no question about that, which I absolutely love. Um, I think it's very special to have the mindset that you have, to give the advice that you gave, to have the mentors that you have, because we need more people like you in our industry. There's no question about that. And I think you're great representation. And I don't think I'm breaking news by saying that you're absolutely wonderful. I think your friends and family would say the same thing, and your colleagues as well that you work with. So I just want you to keep doing what you love doing. I'm a new fan of yours. And my final question to you is there anything else you would like to add about the job, yourself, or anything at all before we conclude?
Well, first, just let me say thank you so much for having me on. I've enjoyed our little chat and like getting to know each other.
Hmm.
It's been great. Thank you to anybody, yeah, who's listening. I definitely, as I feel like I do want to move into, as I'm moving, let's say, like in current terms, into my next phase of life, I would just say anyone, man or woman, who listens or whatever, who like reaches and like feels like they want to reach out or anything like that, like I absolutely encourage you to do so. Like I have really, I'm not gonna say like it. Well, yeah, I feel like this, like my job in journalism and my journey has really kind of helped define who I am as a person, as a
Right.
woman, and I feel like it is my like not only like God given purpose, but just like my responsibility to give back to others. And whether it is like them listening to a podcast or just giving you advice or resources that you may not know are out there. So I'm always like down to help someone, down to have a chat, have a little conversation about anything. And yeah, I just wish everybody the best. Like, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Like, stick to your dreams when you have them, and you'll get there.
Well said. I want you to enjoy your Monday evening. You know, you and I would definitely be in touch, and I want you to enjoy also the rest of your week. And we will definitely be in touch once again.
Thank you so much, Chris. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.